Alright guys, Mr. Max here with TSM Training, and in my last video I talked a bit briefly about wrist wrap and why you want to use them, and I wanted to make this video standalone and explain why we use wrist wrap and how to put them on properly. So those wrist wrap, they are SBD 16 inch. I had them for a very long time. I love them. They're quite rigid. They're not too stretchy. There's a bit of stretch in it, but much less than many other brand of wrist wrap. And at first I had bought the 24 inch. I found them too long. It would take too long to wrap. You had to go around too many times. So I traded them with somebody else that had the 16 inch who wanted longer wrap. So that's a matter of personal preference. But 16 inch for me are pretty fine enough. Usually people that bench and do equip benching will use longer wrap to have more support. But if you're raw, 16 inch should be plenty enough. And they're not ambidextrous, so the side you put them on matters, so that's why I wrote on them like left and right. But other than that, they're just like pretty standard wrist strap. This part here is called a thumb loop. I don't know if you can see because on black on black here. This part here is called a thumb loop. I usually don't put it in my thumb. On those wrap, it's pretty small too. So usually I just like grab it with my ring finger there. And that's good enough. Anyway, in competition, you have to take the thumb loop out because no part of the wrist wrap can touch the bar. That includes the thumb loop. It also means that you cannot wrap too high on the hand. So I see a lot of people putting the wrist wrap wrong. They're going to put them too loose. They're just going to put them like this, tug a bit on it, and then like snap it, and they think they're good to go. But this does nothing. If you want to put the wrist wrap, you have to put it very tight. The wrist wrap, you shouldn't be able to just keep and walk around with it. It should be so tight that you put it on just before you go on bench, you do your benching, and then you have to take them out because otherwise your hands get numb. You really want to put the wrist wrap tight, so like I said, I usually hold it with it's much less fiddling around than taking the thumb loop out. So I usually just hold it like that with my pinky finger. Then I wrap it loosely like that on my wrist. And what I'll do, I'll go and wind it around my other hand, and then you can really pull and put a lot of tension on the wrap, pre-stretch it. And then you go around like this, and you tag it, and now you should feel that the wrist strap want to keep the hand closed. I have like to put an effort to open my hand because the wrist strap want to keep it closed. So now my wrist is pretty stiff, it's pretty stabilized. That's what you want to do, that's why you want to put the wrist strap on. When you do put your wrist strap on also, try not to put it with the hand all crunched up like that. Make a nice straight fist, because that's how your hand is gonna stay, and that's how the hand's gonna wrap around the bar better. And also when you put the wrist strap on, tighten your tricep, because you're gonna have like better tricep activation. So you don't want like put the wrist strap, like nothing you do should be casual. I already talked about that. So I wind it, then you tighten you put your nice straight fist as much as you can, tighten the tricep, pull hard, tag it. Make sure the Velcro is firmly attached, and there you go. And the wrist wrap is not only going to prevent injury on the wrist if you have a heavy weight, that if you go off your pad a bit, if you don't keep the elbow above the wrist above the elbow, then you could put some strain on the wrist. But even more so, if the bar leans too much forward, the wrist can bend in that way, and then that could make you drop the bar. You have a lot of weight, that's a bar in free fall on your chest. That can be very serious injury, can even lead to death. So I think wrist wrap are a good idea to have. They're not that expensive and can allow you to wait just by keeping you safe as well. So take care. I hope this was helpful. Have a good day.